Hi, Joe. Nice to
Hello.
meet you again.
Mm.
Hello. Let me introduce Joe to you guys because we met a few years ago when we studied a course in Singapore, and then that's how I met Joe. And Joe is one of a very popular movement therapist and trainer in Singapore, and then I have learned a lot from him. And then here's a great opportunity for us to know more about Joe now. So, Joe, can you briefly introduce yourself to us so let us know you more?
Okay, so basically, I've came in this industry from a public health stance point of view. I started my work in the hospital in Western Australia under
No.
Continence Advisory of WA. So I was in public health promotion for a while, and
Mm-hmm.
after that, I basically bounced around and I
Mm-hmm.
traveled the world. I went into different industry, and I came back. I decided to go back to healthcare, and there, I, there I am. So over the years, I've kind of like taken on multiple certifications locally and overseas to get myself acquainted and educated on helping my patients. So I'm pretty much trained in multiple modalities in manual therapy, movement, biomechanics, as well as strength conditioning.
Mm.
So as far as special interest is concerned, I have a special interest in functional neurology and currently lymphatics.
Pardon me.
Lymphatics.
Currently,
Lymphatics.
lymphatics. Oh,
So
okay. That's why I
lymphanology.
want. Oh, I see. Because I really I want to learn the lymphatics as well. Yeah, I think that would be a game changer sometimes because after that we use lots of biomechanics to help people and then use manual as well. But yeah, I do have talked with you before and then know that lymphatics that may be a game changer in some areas of the rehabilitation. But Joe, can you tell us more what inspired you to be a movement coach then?
I think it's the um, at looking back at patient management and getting them to be stronger by
Mm-hmm.
themselves is really
Mm-hmm.
stemming from that origin. So at Rehab Pro Movement Therapy Clinic, we do pride ourselves as people who empowers our patients, moving
Mm.
away from the operator bias model, whereby
Mm.
patients are very therapist dependent. And most of
Mm.
our cases here are chronic cases.
Mm.
So they need some form of education,
Mm.
empowerment, and also some form of goal setting and self fulfillment. So it ties in with the work that I do as somebody who prescribes movement. So movement intervention specifically to address their problems that they face. So as we know, patients who have pain pathologies generally
Mm.
don't move well. They will compensate. They will do whatever they can to accomplish the task that they require. Sometimes it's not by choice. Sometimes it's because the occupation that they work in, like for example, an air stewardess or air steward will need to do overhead movements, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas let's say a dentist may need to do a
Mm.
lot of fine
Mm.
motor repetitive
Yeah.
stuff when they're doing scaling and polishing. So
Mm.
these are kind of unavoidable, and
Mm.
the understanding, the inspiration of getting myself better and more skilled at becoming a more proficient therapist who prescribe movement is actually stemming from how can I re-educate patients and how
Mm.
can I give better movement prescription, and hence that's why inspire me to become what I want to be, and I'm still
Mm.
trying to learn that in the process because there's still
Mm.
many different aspects of movements that probably we need to work our head around and get educated on.
Oh, see.
I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, because I know you for a few years, and I see your what I call evolving. I see that you when you were a more manual therapist one, and then right now that I can from your IG and then from some of your shared video, I can see that you use much more movement-based approach and some very unique like the motor control stuff that is that when I interact with you in Instagram, I feel wow, Joe is is evolving that I have to learn from you much more if I can. And then can you share with us that about what is your main client group right now? Because I saw you on IG sometimes that you serve the national team of Singapore as well, right?
Yeah, so my clientele is actually quite broad. Like I say, the clients or the patients that the clinic sees mostly are chronic cases. But then again, you also have some subset of like acute, subacute cases when we talk about MSK pain problems. So that means there is a MSK portion of patients I see. Then the next portion of clientele that I see are like what you've mentioned, the national athletes. I I do see athletes from a range of sports like dressage, horse riding, uh, beach and indoor. That means indoor and outdoor volleyball. Particularly more of the women's team. Golf.
Oh.
Yeah, golf, semi-pro golfs, and yeah, I think these are the current three main sports that I see. Oh yeah, and basketball as well. Yeah, these are the current four sports that I see now. I used to see like motor sports and also like boxing, but not anymore. Yeah, it's just kind of niche kind of sports, I would say. But these patients usually come in more for their MSK problems. Then after that, they wanted to continue to strengthen. So that's where the movement education comes in to give them more precise and longer lasting movement strategies. Yeah, at the same time, one of the reasons that these athletes return was also because they have seen their capacity improve over time. A lot of times, if you work with athletes, you will know that the athletes are actually one of the more injury-prone people around. Yeah, so not to what the public perceive them to be, but if that's the case, there's something wrong with either the strength and conditioning program, or it could also be sometimes return to play was not done well. That means the therapy intervention was not done well, or maybe they could be progressing too fast or not progressing at all. So that's when they see the value in seeing us. And of course, the other set of clientele that I see is around maybe 30 or 40% of my current clientele will be oncology cases.
Oh,
So
okay.
these oncology cases generally would have lymphedema or lipodema or combined conditions. So sometimes they vary in stages from stage 1 to stage 4, congenital and induced. Yeah. So this is the second group of patients that I see lah. They are not so they also do benefit from movement-based interventions, which is moving away from the traditional MLD and compression bandage therapy kind of strategies.
Yeah. Yeah, wow, you have a very broad clientele and a great variety of your clients that you meet every day, right?
I try to keep myself sharp, but like I say, you can see that the bias is a little bit more towards oncology now.
But
Because
I can
their
see that
pain
you
is
still
actually quite
offer.
complex.
Yeah, but I can see you still like serve a lot of like athletes and then some sports people. and then the sports lover as well. So because I know that when you were you're still young, but when you're younger, that you have been involved in the strengthening and conditioning area. Because in Hong Kong, that many of our friends they are personal trainers, or we have or SNC coaches. So can you share with us about your movement-based approach? That how can you describe or let the trainers or the coaches know that with your Joe's approach, how can they help their own clients? Yeah,
I think we first of all probably have to look at the key distinct difference between what I offer and what is out there in the marketplace. So what I do offer is I offer a very unique perspective in terms of looking at not just functional anatomy, because functional is a big word now. Everybody is using, this is functional training, this is functional anatomy, this is functional neurology. But how can we tie it all together? So I come from a holistic perspective where I look at all different components of it and try to come up with a streamlined solution to that. That means a lot of times when somebody of modality is usually seen as biased towards functional movement, functional neurology, functional anatomy, etc., whereas I look at all 3 or 4 different components of it. So we can say that this approach is a little bit more holistic. That means I not just consider, number 1, the function of the patient or the clientele. I also consider the neurophysiology makeup of the problem that's presented. And of course, coming from understanding the biomechanics together with the fundamental understanding of motor control theories and concepts that kind of ties it all together as I would say a more complete solution. So that is the key, the key thing that's probably set my thing apart from the conventional ones or the current ones that you see in the marketplace. Then as far as the like how can they get, or rather how can they benefit from it, I would say that it perhaps helps them to tie in the different aspects of education they have already trained in. So somebody may be an FMS trained person. Somebody may be acquainted with NKT or PDDR. Now they can rationalize what they are doing and put it in a movement context, which most often times practitioners are kind of like put in a situation that they try to forcefully mix and match things together, which doesn't seem to click. So I come in and tell them that, hey, this is what maybe functional neurology say, and this is what anatomy and biomechanics say. We put them together, and you can pretty much reason it out more effectively in that sense, and there will be less gaps of information loss.
Yeah, true, very true. Because from my impression and in the recent 1 or 2 years, that even in the Hong Kong local market, on the IG, there's lots of the advertisements about the biomechanics or the functional anatomy courses in Hong Kong. But from my own clinical experience, I do feel that it's only part of the game. I mean, part of the management, because always there's some neurological stuff or the neurophysiological stuff that we have to be getting involved. That because the consideration of the holistic clients management, not only the biomechanics, because sometimes that just biomechanics can't help. From my own clinical experience, so I do very impressed with your upcoming approach, or that the sharing, and then about your proposed course for us, especially for the personal trainers or the rehabilitation, the SNC coaches. Could you tell us more about like what would the people that can most benefit from your courses?
I would say probably you're looking at the wide range of spectrum. So it depends on what you're coming for the course for. So let's say if you're a physio who is not very comfortable with strength conditioning, programming,
That's me.
you're being humble. So you're not very comfortable at the, let's say, more prescriptive and less generalized exercise interventions. That would probably benefit you. And you're looking for, even as a therapist, you're looking for like specific interventions for, let's say, specific conditions. You may benefit because there is portions whereby I will explain how the neurophysiology ties in with different conditions. And then if you're a movement coach or you are a strength conditioning specialist, or somebody who is a rehab trainer or sports therapist that deals with special population, you're also looking at how to enhance your current skill set, and then look at the movements prescription in a more holistic, not just holistic, but in detail manner that you can use to hopefully get better proficiency at your in the goals that you set for your clients. So I would say it is across the spectrum. It depends on what you're looking for. Other than that, if you're looking at, let's say, even if you're looking at performance, so this series of so-called education that I'm gonna dish out, it does have a performance element in it, because what if you look at the course details, which we will probably discuss more in further down the line, you will see that I actually adopt a very performance-based approach to rehabilitation. Yeah.
That's
So
very
definitely,
nice.
if you're already doing performance, this would be very comfortable for you to kind of like adopt.
Wow, great. And then, so maybe the last question for today. As we know that my colleagues have invited you to come maybe in the late June, that for the like an introduction of your upcoming proposed workshops or the courses in Hong Kong. So I would like to know that if we like because you have served a wide and a very extensive clientele and then a wide spectrum of the clients. So can you share with us how can they? I mean, the students that if they take your course and all that how can they benefit from the course? I mean, yeah.
How can I benefit? Okay, so sorry, just want to clarify. Like, you're talking about the different
If I'm the
professions.
personal trainers, yeah, the coaches that after they taking up your course, that how can they benefit from it, or any like the outcomes that they can expect from the course.
Okay, so like I said previously, it will be more of like I can when they do go through the course, they will be able to string together the different aspects of biomechanics, neurology, functional movement, even S&C principles, because these will be these theories will be revisited in the course, and then I will teach them how to see all this together as a streamlined component. That's number one. That means in theory, they would be more confident to apply what they have learned in school into the real world setting, which I'm sure you have experienced because of our conversations. You're very well versed with model control theories, but it's hard to apply application wise. Yeah. So it's really more about tying that with applicable kind of stuff that you can do in clinic. The second thing that they will benefit from is that they may see that their exercise interventions in terms of measuring their clients' process and outcomes are actually are actually speed up or more proficient. So, for example, if they do, let's say, a combination of glute bridges, single leg snake stance work, and then some form of knee extension for ACL case, they may see that I would maybe only need one exercise to kind of get these components of the muscle strengthened. So it becomes like a more proficient way of dealing with things. So one exercise versus 3 or 4 exercises, then that means you can add in more stuff in your current setting. So you can say that in terms of patient progression wise, or maybe even clientele progression wise, in terms of performance, may also be more proficient and faster. And I think the last part that I would like to touch on is becoming more creative. So my course emphasis on teaching concepts and then through application with understanding. So students are expected to really be thinking on their own, but I encourage to do that rather than giving a set piecemeal of cookie cutter approaches of what to do. So there will no doubt be some form of step-by-step kind of a sequential guide to help you, but the course is designed in such a way that at the end of the day, it's all about learning how to come up with your own exercises.
Thank you very much, Joe, because you have shared very inspiring information to us, especially because I know you for years, and then that I can see you still evolving, and then I always being impressed by your words on your IG about the pre and post. After your movement-based approach about your not just the athletes, but also some of the other MS cases. I'm pretty sure that if the students they learn from you, that even me, that I'm sure that I can benefit from and they get inspired from you as well. So I'm really looking forward about the upcoming June that your introductory workshop for us, and then see at that time that how we can learn better and then more from you. And then if you don't mind, that can I share your IG the link, so I can after this dialogue on our Facebook or IG, whatever, so that let our Hong Kong local community trainers and the coaches that know you more. And then so we are looking forward to have you in the upcoming June. But by the way, that in maybe in late May, that we will have another dialogue with Jack, our friend, as well, so that we can discuss more about the movement-based approach, that we have the different streams and how can we make it come into together. Okay. Thank you, Joe, for your time.
Okay, thank you.